Bank took it while you were gone.
Wish someone could hear what I can't let them see. Oh, I just need a quiet place. Oh, I just need a quiet place. Oh, warm embrace. Somebody to tell me it's alright to show your face. Oh, I'm strong, but I'm human. I'm brave, but I'm tired. I just want a moment where my heart ain't required to carry it on. I'm a crash, moving through the night, trying to find peace. Oh, trying to find light. I'm a quiet storm, but I won't lose my way. Even when the clouds make it hard to pray, I'm a quiet storm, oh, still standing tall. Even when my back feels against the wall, I'm a quiet storm, but I'm stronger than I seem. And one day this song gonna turn into a dream.
Yes, welcome back to the Rudy Bruce broadcast. And we're just getting rolling here. So share it out, guys. Share it out there.
You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down. I was born to rise, so kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. I've lost some friends, made a few new foes, but that's just life, that's how it goes. I ain't bending over just to please a crowd. If I fall down, I'll fall down proud. I talk my truth, I live my way. Ain't nobody gonna take my say. This road's been rough, but I learned a trade. It's sweat, soul and dues I paid. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll. I am 40 years old. I am home. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down. I was born to rise, so kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. I've lost some friends, made a few new foes, but that's just life, that's how it goes. I ain't bending over just to please a crowd. If I fall down, I'll fall down proud. I talk my truth, I live my way. Ain't nobody gonna take my say. This road's been rough, but I learned a trade. It's sweat, soul and dues I paid. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can.
Hey guys, share, okay? We're getting rolling here.
Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
iPhone storage is almost full. Clean up your storage with FreeUp.
Now
Download now
that
for
is
free.
a bunch of bullshit.
iPhone.
Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
Okay, share it out there, guys. It's 6:03. We got started a little late, so I'm going to give it another one. So keep sharing. Share, share, share. Let them know we're here. And then we will. What is that one? I don't go with that.
Not everybody gets a moment like this. Not everybody gets a moment like this. A chance to slow the world down. Say what really matters. So if you hear my voice one day, know it was said with love before I'm long gone. Life don't tap you on the shoulder, it just keeps moving on. One day you're strong as ever, next day you're watching dawn. I said some things I wish I'd shaped better, held my tongue too late, too long. But when I learned what mattered most, I changed the road I was on. This ain't about fear, this ain't about pain. It's about saying it now, so it don't stay unsaid. Before I'm long gone, let me say it clear. I loved you deeper than I ever showed my fear. If I missed a moment, if I got it wrong, oh, my heart was always home. Before I'm long gone, let these words stay. Not as a goodbye, just proof I stay. If my voice fades, play this song. I was here before I'm long gone. To my kids, don't rush this life. It ain't measured by speed or noise. Be kind when the world ain't gentle. Protect that inner voice. To my love, you carried more than I ever said out loud. If I didn't say thank you enough, I'm saying it right now. I wasn't perfect, I was present, and that means something still. Before I'm long gone, let me leave this truth. I did the best I could with what I knew. If you ever wonder who I was loved, learning how. Before I'm long gone, let the sunrise play, same warm light on a different day. If my name fades, play this song, I'm still here. Before I'm long gone.
Okay, guys, share it out there. We only got 36 in here. We'll give it a few more. And I hope to get started soon. But it's up to you. We are trying our very best to give you the best in a broadcast. In order to do that, you need an audience. I think we're back. I'm checking satellite connection. I'm feeling not too bad these days. Hanging in there like everybody else. Satellite connection is at what it is. Okay, guys, share, share, share.
Thank you for joining us. This is the Hello there. Thank you for joining us. This is the Rudy Bruce broadcast. You focus on the truth. I focus on the facts. People of Canada, your voice will speak a million strong. If
you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
We come together and fight what's going on. We got homeless people living in tents. Be compassionate, do not judge, because 200,000 of us are using food banks. Where's the pride? Where's the pride? Where's our money we slave for? They cover it up. The working man is living for. Rudy has true leadership, speaking for the ones who are tired of this shit. Make the government officials get a grip, or everyone loses the respect. Something's wrong, open your eyes. They tell us lies. You're blinded to this and more when you're alone. United, we stand, divided, we fall. The time will come, the day is near, we will all march. So listen with your ears. We are not zombies or fresh meat. Let's grind up the government, make compost for the maple trees. Let's avenge the deaths of the ones who have fallen. Coronavirus, opioid, we're still trying. They thought they got away scot-free. We will get the last laugh. Just wait and see. These talks we have on the broadcast will provide the guide. Let's do it fast.
Ouch.
Thankfully, we live strong and free. Everyone does. Are you shipping? Round of applause to you and yours. Tuning in, we're opening doors. This is the real movement. People, let's stand up, Canada, before we lose. We're still trying. They thought they got away scot-free. Just like a city. These songs we have on the broadcast will provide the guide. Let's do it fast. Taxpayers believe. It's strong and free. Everyone does. Are you still is the real movement. People that stand up Canada before we lose it.
Okay, how you doing, everybody? I got the chat on. I got the live. Oh, wait a minute. Hello. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Okay, what is it?
Your sound is completely off.
The sound is off. On what, the music or what?
Just echoing and everything like that.
It's echoing.
Yeah, but you're coming through clear now.
I'm coming through clear now.
Your voice.
Okay.
Your voice.
Well, they were interfering probably with the music,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, nothing I can do about that.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, we're back. I believe you can hear me. You can hear me quite fine. Okay. Okay. So we have a big day tomorrow, January 31st, across Canada. Across Canada, January 31st. There's a protest, major protest across Canada. Now, one thing I've noticed in the 2 weeks leading up to January 31st, that not enough social media guys got on here to inform you of what was going on January 31st across Canada. Now, don't you find that a little odd? Seriously, don't you find that a little odd? That we want the people want to hold an event across Canada tomorrow, January 31st, regarding the bullshit of Carney's government. Not one other broadcaster did I hear get on here, except, oh, sorry, there was one. Sorry, there was one. Excuse me, one that I heard, but I haven't heard of any others. And the one guy I did hear about say it was not somebody I'm used to, okay, like the other. So out of these social media people, I only heard one guy, and that was today or yesterday, talk about January 31st as a major event across Canada. Now, we heard lots about the Alberta referendum thing all over social media, but not January 31st. The biggest thing that was publicized on social media were the the posters, like this and this for 2 weeks. Or we had a conglomerate of posters. And I posted this today, that I'll be joining Kelowna. But there's lots of other places that are being publicized. Let me see if I can find a number of posters so that I can give you places and dates. Oh, yeah, here we go. So January 31st, we've got Kelowna, and that's where I'll be tomorrow. We've got Trail. Trail starts at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay. Victoria, 1 o'clock. Calgary, 1 till 4. And Calgary's is Corey Hogan Consulate's office, 207 1717 10th Street Northwest. We got Lethbridge, GALT Gardens in Lethbridge, Galt Gardens in Lethbridge. And it doesn't even have a time on that one. Regina, 1 p.m., Legislator Building. Winnipeg, Legislator Building, 450 Broadway, 1 p.m. Oshawa, 901 Alflo Street East, meet at noon, 1:45 p.m. March. Toronto, Young Dundas Square, 12 to 5. Ottawa, Parliament Hill, noon until 4. Woodstock, 11 a.m. And the list goes on. I'll publicize Woodstocks here on the air there. Halifax, citywide march, 1 p.m., Parade Square. And that's what a lot more. Vancouver Art Gallery, right? Quesnel, train station parking lot, 12 until 2. Saskatoon, Toys R Us parking lot, march to City Hall at 1 o'clock. Nationwide protest, Charlottetown. And I can't even pronounce that one. I'll publicize it. Kingston City Hall, 1 until 4. Hamilton City Hall, 71 Main Street West, 12 p.m. Edmonton, CBC Edmonton office, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's a good one. PA, Convoy, 10 a.m. Meet Highway 2, pullout, North PA. Yorkton, Broadway City Park, 11 a.m. to 2. Montreal. Oops, sorry. Just a minute. That'll be the last one I'm gonna. Halifax, citywide march, 1 p.m., Parade Square. I think I said that one. Montreal, Places d'Armes, 1 p.m. So I seen lots of that for 2 weeks. right? But I did not see social media broadcasters such as myself, other than the one guy I saw, pushing that, promoting it, talking about it. I find that to be kind of disappointing. I mean, this is our country we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. Are you willing to sit back and allow Canada to become like China? Facial recognition and the digital ID and the rest of whatever Carney's got up his ass. That's why the protest, because Carney's a globalist and he's working with the WHO, the UN agenda, goes into bed with China. And you wonder why I find it a little upsetting that more social media guys didn't get involved in talking about tomorrow's event. And you think that Carney is running this country properly, the way it should be, where the people are being looked after in this country? Well, Jeff explains it perfectly. About
Shaking Canada and the rest of the world. Jeff here, your favorite black sheep. Well, it's official. The numbers are in for what it cost Canadian taxpayers for the CFIA to kill, by their own admission, 314 ostriches on the Universal Ostrich Farm. Now, remember, people, not one of those 314 ostriches ever tested positive for the avian flu, nor were they tested for it. Now, the total costs come in at $6.7 million on the backs of Canadian.
Did you hear that? Shall I repeat that for you?
Taxpayers. The CFIA costs of $1.6 million. $339,497 going to CFIA salaries associated with the Universal Ostrich Farm call. $482,734 going to professional services such as disposal, protection services, transportation of materials, cyber and office security, and vet services. They also claim they spent another $220,929 on straw. We all know what that was for. And $13,780 on ostrich feed. The RCMP costs come in at a whopping $3.8 million on the backs of Canadian taxpayers. $2,016,565 alone for personnel and wages associated with the Universal Ostrich Farm and its call. $1 million spent on transportation and telecommunications. $657,037 spent on professional and special services. $59,210 spent on rentals and leases. $16,866 spent on repairs and maintenance, and $210 spent on utilities and supplies. The Justice Department claims they spent 1.3.
Oh, for Christ's sake. What?
The Justice Department claims they spent $1.3 million on legal fees. And the CFIA also claims there's over $40,000 in legal fees not associated with the Justice Department. $6.7 million on the backs of Canadian taxpayers. And you know what could have prevented this? Simple testing. They could have tested the birds to prove if the 314 ostriches that they murdered even had the avian flu or not. $6.7 million that could have went into social development, programs for people, housing, Medicare, hospitals, veterans. We're sitting in a situation in this country where most people are going paycheck to paycheck, where half the country is a paycheck away from bankruptcy, where people are struggling to pay their bills, buy groceries, to the point where governments have to release large rebates in order to try to compensate the rapid inflation. Yet here we are wasting money. And this is one piece of the pie. This is happening in departments and agencies across the board in Canada, where Canadian tax dollars are taken for granted, wasted. And that money does not provide a fruitful result for the people providing it. The CFIA policies, when it comes to the avian flu and stamping out, cause more harm than good in Canada. They hinder our agricultural industry. They make it harder and harder for farmers to survive, and they hurt our future food security in this country. It's time to wake up, Canada. Stand up for your neighbors. Stand up for your farmers. Stand up, point out bogus policy, and demand change. Demand reform. Demand a better way moving forward. Because you know what? Your children's future, it depends on it.
Long.
So, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Long.
Now,
What?
the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, the thing is this, okay? Trump has now made it 100% tariffs for goods going into the U.S. from Canada. 100% tariff. Because of this so-called bullshit deal with China, bringing in electric vehicles into this country. And you know what it did to the auto sector? There's a big layoff coming on to the auto sector. There's also a big layoff coming to the CFIA department. Not that I gave it too much of a shit about that part of it, but the auto sector I do. Okay. So the auto sector is preparing to take a hit with all these EVs coming into Canada. Okay. So they're laying off staff. All because of Carney's bright little move of making an undercutted deal with China to bring in these stupid electric vehicles. Oh, so that China would buy canola, okay, or some shit excuse like this, okay? Do you know how much of that canola in Canada is actually owned by the Chinese? Just food for thought. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot go on with another Trudeau kind of government for another fucking 4 years or so. Okay? Then we're all in big fucking trouble. And if you don't think Canada can become another Venezuela, where Venezuela's money was worth shit because they printed out so much of it, it became worthless. Okay? And that's exactly what Trudeau's government did. And that's exactly what I imagine Carney's government is doing. But you don't hear too much about that down, do you? But there's how much billion of dollars are going to Ukraine? In a war, Ukraine is never going to win against Russia. But yet Carney's government, along with the Trudeau government, sends all this fucking money to Ukraine. and pisses off, continues to piss off our neighbor to the south, who is Canada's always relied on for years and years because, hey, we're right next door, okay? If you're going to piss off the guy next door, you better have a damn good fucking reason for it. Because our trucking industry is tied into the United States of America. Our industry, in a lot of ways, is tied into the U.S., the United States government of America. How many people go south for their holidays and people come north for their holidays? Hundreds. People have family in the United States. People have family up here. You can't get closer ties than what Canada and US have been going under for years. But yet the Trudeau and the Carney government want to fuck you and fuck me and fuck this country. And that's what they've been doing. Or didn't you learn anything about how shit was when COVID hit Canada and you're all putting the stupid mask on your face and playing the social distance bullshit and the rest of it, and then out comes this bioweapon they called a vaccine. You didn't remember, you forget about that? I didn't. And the people it harmed in the care homes, that on their deathbed, these people that put a life into Canada couldn't hold their loved ones that were in care homes. And the rest of it. You forget about that? I didn't. I ask all of Canadians, most of the Canadians that get this message, to get to the protest tomorrow, wherever it is closest to you. I suggest you all go if you can. Nothing short of being in your deathbed or maybe having to go to work or some shit. But it's on a Saturday, so there ain't much of an excuse for all of these protests across Canada to gather up as many people as we can to send a message to Ottawa. And what's the message? We're telling basically Carney to fuck off. Literally. Enough with the bullshit of shit policy. Bill S-206, Bill 9, I guess Bill 9's taking a nosedive, and the rest of that bullshit. It's not out there to help Canadians. MAID. There's another good one for you, right? Medical assisted in dying. Medical assisted suicide. The only reason that subject ever came out was because people were terminally ill. And that subject should come up to light, that if a person wanted to commit a suicide because there was no hope whatsoever. That's how that got introduced in the first place. And they played with it and played with it until they've got it tinkered so that shit, we could give veterans the choice to do it. Veterans. Because they had a psychological happening in their head when they went to Afghanistan, and they came back and they were kind of a little fucked up because of what they saw and did, had to do. So they come back to Canada, and instead of getting the proper treatment, they were offered MAID. Others that got the shot and were fucked because of it were offered MAID as a result. Yeah, that's right. We talked you into fucking up your life. Now we'll really help you to fuck up the rest of it instead of helping out financially after what they did. Yeah, there's a lot going wrong in our country. We've got people living in tents, for God's sake, in the wintertime. And if that's not bad enough, some places you can't even have a tent. And there's a big shortage of room to get in out of the out of the cold. Okay, big shortage. Okay. A lot of problems in Canada. And how many years has this been going on that we've had these problems in Canada? A lot of years. Like a decade or two. You know what I mean? Where's the help for Canadians? Oh, and then we got dumped on by government with massive immigration, with no housing, no jobs. Just come on into Canada. Fuck, if that's not good enough, we'll give you an excuse. We'll give you one of these student visas. How'd that work out for us, hey? Well, they come over, they do their course. They're only allowed to make so much money and so on. And then they get it in their head, well, we should be allowed to stay in Canada now. Right? We should be able to become Canadians because we did this student visa stuff, right? And how many criminals, I mean, did that bring into our country as well? How much extra crime did that bring into Canada as well? And look at our crime system, our court system. Kind of fucked, ain't it? Already, right? But here we are as Canadians, born and raised. And what's our future for our kids? And our kids' kids? Does this look like a great future to you? Where they're trying to bring in a credit score and facial recognition, just like they have in China. Eventually, that's what it all amounts to. They'll use every excuse in the book to make it all happen. All the cameras, getting you used to all the cameras and all the fucking bullshit, right? Fixed incomes. Oh, and they allocate the funds into this credit score. And if you're not a good little Canadian, when they implement all this bullshit, you get zip, you get nothing. They freeze your bank account. They fuck you completely, just like in China. That's what they did. All these Chinamen, okay, families, children, okay, if they didn't obey this social credit, they get cut off. They become called an undesirable. So they get cut off from everything. Now, how inhumane do you think that is? When you shut a person's food off, that is pretty much a death sentence. And anybody that goes out to help these people, they get cut off. And there's cameras all over the place. all over the place. They know where you are and what you're doing at any given time. So if you're going to be a bad little Chinaman, they're going to pick it up on their little camera. And who is it exactly that's deciding who's breaking the rules and who isn't? Why, it's your communist government, of course. And that's who Carney goes into bed with and makes a deal and pisses off our neighbors to the south. That's what's happened. In a big way. 100% tariffs now are put on to Canada for all goods going into the US. So what do you think that's going to do to industry in Canada? Just curious. Anybody have any clue? Well, it can't be too good, I'll tell you that. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we are being attacked from the inside out. And that is Carney's government. And there's a few other little governments in Canada doing the same bullshit, getting ready for these big changes so that they can implement these big changes. And BC is one of them. There was a beef that the NDP government did here after COVID. They knew it was coming. Okay, so they got involved in some kind of barrier between the doctor and the patient. Okay, for example, let me find it. Let me find it here. Just a minute. Let me see if I can find it.
Expressed concerns about the safety of the COVID vaccines. I was given the COVID vaccines. I was given a gag order. I was given a gag order very early on when I expressed concerns about the safety of the COVID vaccines. I was given a gag order by the medical authorities that I worked under, telling me that I was not allowed as a doctor to say anything negative about the COVID vaccines. And I refused to comply with that, because I would be failing my patients and the people of Canada if I complied with that gag order.
Okay. You get that? Okay. Did you get that? And then there was Dr. Hodgkinson. Same scenario, basically. Dr. Hodgkinson was top in his field, and he won his case, Dr. Hodgkinson. But in British Columbia, they came up with a little scenario that you couldn't sue, you couldn't go after them in a court of law after what they did regarding COVID. It's quite the little maneuver, eh? Yeah, quite the little maneuver. So where is the farm going to take it now?
Hi everyone, Karen here. I just thought this was a very important topic today, the 6.8 million that was spent on the farm. 6.8 million, they said, could be up to 10 million. There was no need to spend that kind of money when all they had to do was test the live birds. The U.S. had offered to take the science, to take the birds if Canada didn't want it. We had heard that Carney was supposed to be updated twice a day on our farm and what was going on. The US had said the FDA would come themselves and literally test the birds for free. So there was no need for all these expenses. But when I see the day that the farm is being overtaken by RCMP and CFIA, and I see approximately 70 units coming down the highway, it was such a surreal moment. That why, for this peaceful little farm that nobody's ever threatened anything or did anything wrong, except say that we had strong immunity and we possibly
Okay.
could have a cure for HIV.
Okay. I'm not going to get into the rest of it. But what happens when it becomes your home and it's your pets they want to check out? Your dog, your cats. Or maybe you're on an acreage and you've got horses and a few little hobby farm. They want to come onto your hobby farm and, check out what you got going on. What about then? I'm not saying that the actions of the farm regarding the birds, I mean, the lawyer, okay, was shit. Okay? The lawyer they hired was total shit. And a lot of misinformation got out there into the public regarding the farm's business. But a lot of it is true. I mean, they've got these people after them for money and what have you. But the basic thing in all of this is not their business. It's the actions that were taken by the CFIA on these birds. That is the issue, okay? Not the farm's business. I could care less, all right? The actions the CFIA took on those birds was absolutely horrendous. The cost was horrendous. When a simple test could have been done, or should have been done, was never done. Oh, sure, they tested 2 dead birds. 2. On a PCR test, okay? In my opinion, PCR testing is bullshit. That's the same fucking shit that went on with COVID. PCR testing does not determine sickness, okay, as to you being sick. All right? They're checking into your DNA structure, your DNA. Now, when you magnify that, however many times they want to, you're going to find whatever you want. The inventor of PCR testing stated that this device is not a form or medical diagnostic to determine whether or not you are sick of this or that at the time. Just that you can magnify it to find out if you had something. That doesn't mean to say you're sick. Your immune system is what's keeping shit going, okay? Keeping shit in check. Your own immune system. Let's not forget what the immune system does, okay? Regarding a cold, for example, right? Your immune system kicks in and fights it, right? Well, that's not the route that the government wanted to go down. Oh, no, no, no. They just wanted to feed you with, there's a virus out there and blah, 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 and people are dying. Yeah, you died of a friggin' motorcycle accident. You died of COVID. You died of cancer. You died of COVID. That's what they were pumping out every day, the CBC, mainstream media, every day. For it was pumping this bullshit out to the public, scaring the shit out of you, making you think that it was all so real and you had to take a shot and you couldn't go into restaurants unless you had a mask on your face to beef up the image. Oh, by looking at everybody's got a stupid little mask on their face like it's gonna do something against a little peeny weeny fucking thing. Well, that's why we have a big major protest across Canada tomorrow on January 31st. Because this big, massive bullshit agenda that the government's been springing on you hasn't stopped one iota. They're giving it to you in increments so that slowly you're all gonna fucking follow into whatever bullshit they want you to believe. And they haven't stopped yet. That's why. That's why. The subject has never left Canadian lips as to what they did and what are they doing. And this killing of these ostriches is just another great big example right in your backyard as to the kind of bullshit spending this government is involved with. Going back to SNC Lavalin, going back to the fucking rest of it. The huge dollars being spent in Ukraine on a war Ukraine is never gonna fucking win. That's a laundering thing. Not so that Ukraine is gonna win a war, because Ukraine isn't gonna win a war against fucking Russia. Ever. But President Trump, he talks about trying to stop that war. And what does Carney do? And what does Trudeau do? Well, they fucking funneling the money over there. Keep the war going. Does it make any sense to you at all? Any of you Canadians? And that's right. They won't stop until they are stopped. Same problem here in the US. I like that. Look at that. There it is, right there. You know something? That's why January 31st is so important across Canada. Because it's high time Canadians got together and sent the message. You know what I mean? That's why January 31st is so important. Because as Canadians, we have to show up in a mass number to send that message. Or there's going to be more wasteless spending where it doesn't mean shit to Canadians. But they're working very diligently in cornering you into this bullshit that they want under the New World Order, as Carney put it. Right? That's why it was so important for Canadians to come together and send a message. Now, that is going to happen tomorrow. But because not enough social media people got involved, I suspect our numbers are going to be down a little bit. But this should have been a major thing on every broadcaster's lips to get to the protest and publicize the protests as I just did. Now I'm going to be in the one in Kelowna. I'll be teaming up with the Kelowna protest. So if you're near the area of Kelowna, I hope to see you there because that's where I'll be. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, it's up to you, the people, to start showing the government you give a fuck, okay, about this country. Now, I don't know how Carney got into office, but it certainly wasn't democratic. Not in my belief. That being my opinion. Because none of his rallies was ever there a mass of people at Carney's rallies. Did you notice that? But Pierre Poilievre's rallies were huge. Same thing happened in the U.S. with Trump before, Biden became the so-called president. I have a very strange hunch, a very strong hunch, that we're being played with by these globalists. And the exact steering that they're trying to take us, the people of this country, where they're trying to steer us, in my opinion, is not in a very good way. Not in a very good place. Because that's going to cancel out a lot of your freedoms and your fundamental rights as Canadians. That's why the urgency for people to go out and protest on January 31st and send a big message to government that we don't believe that what you're doing is in the best interest of the country. When the people speak out, the government is supposed to listen. This is your chance to speak out against a corrupt government. I hope to see you there. I hope you all get your way to going to a protest tomorrow, because that is going to send a message. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it there. I am going to see you, most of you, some of you, in Kelowna. And I will be there. I will be joining a convoy from the scale in Vernon to going to Kelowna. So anybody in this area, that's where I'm going to be. Kelowna. There's one in Trail. There's one in Vancouver at the museum. There's one in Victoria. It's a matter of just getting there and showing your support as a Canadian. I also want to thank people that have sent in a donation to support the broadcast, the Rudy Bruce broadcast, so that I can keep giving you this kind of broadcast where we're on more than one platform. We're on X, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook. Now that costs a little more money, and also I'm running a Starlink. That's another $200. So your support in supporting the broadcast is muchly appreciated. And we've got gas coming up tomorrow to go to Kelowna. All these things add up to being able to give you a broadcast. I will be broadcasting tomorrow in Kelowna. In Kelowna on that protest. The new world order has no problem in my life. I think they had no control over me at all. Thanks to you, Rudy, because I see it's every Canadian for his and hers self. Look at that. And I believe that. That's a very interesting statement. I think it's about time people realize that we're all in this together as Canadians. We're in this together. It's not us and the government at the hip, okay? The government was responsible for killing a lot of people during COVID. I hope you all realize that. And it's still going on today. They've taken ivermectin. They've been working on taking ivermectin off the shelves and out of your hands. Ivermectin kills parasites. It's believed to be cancer. That's what cancer is, parasites. There needs to be more investigations into this medical bullshit that they pump down our throats. Maybe we should start there and find out what big pharma, is really responsible for. Maybe we should go down that road. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank those that have supported the broadcast. I want to thank all of you for joining the broadcast.
Hello there. Thank you for joining us. This is the Rudy Bruce broadcast. You focus on the truth. I focus on the facts. People of Canada, your voice will speak a million strong. If we come together and fight what's going on, we got homeless people living in tents. Be compassionate, do not judge, because 200,000 of us are using food banks. Where's the pride? Where's the pride? Where's our money we slave for? They cover it up. The working man is living for. Rudy has true leadership, speaking for the ones who are tired of this shit. Make the government officials get a grip, or everyone loses the respect. Something's wrong, open your eyes. They tell us lies, you're blinded to this and more in your lawn. United, we stand, divided, we fall. The time will come, the day is near, we will all march. So listen with your ears, we are not zombies or fresh meat. Let's grind up the government, make compost for the maple tree. Let's avenge the deaths of the ones who have fallen. Coronavirus, opioid, we're still trying. They thought they got away scot-free. We will get the last laugh. Just wait and see. These talks we have on the broadcast will provide the guide. Let's do it fast. Taxpayers believe we live strong and free. Everyone does. Are you shitting me? Round of applause for you and yours for tuning in. We're opening doors. This is the real movement, people. Let's stand up, Canada, before you. just wait and see. These songs we have on the broadcast. We'll find the guy. Let's do it fast. Taxpayers believe it's strong and free. Everyone does. Are you kidding? This is the real movie. People that stand up for it.
Okay, what's happening is somehow when the music is coming through, it's fucking up. I don't know how or what, but I'm guessing because it's just showing of material cyber. I mean, it's some bullshit. Anyways, that's it for one day, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope to see you at a protest tomorrow. And I will be broadcasting live from Kelowna on that one. And that's it. Thanks for joining and thanks for being a part of it. Until next time, tomorrow, I don't know exactly what time it'll be, but it'll be by at least 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. So stay tuned. We're on BC time, don't forget. And I've got a ride there. Not a problem. And I've got a little treat for being out there for everybody. It'll happen at the time I'm there. So next time I will see you, not on that live, but the next one will be Friday at 6, as usual, unless something else comes up. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining. And I'm just getting the word out there.